Welcome to Tai Chi Wellness. I am hoping that my microphone is working. Seems like that's what I have to say usually. Okay, I'm just going to give a couple minutes for people to log in, and I'm just going to bring my microphone is just on the corner here. And all right, so I'll just see if I've got some people. What I'm really looking for is someone who can tell me if I've got the sound coming up and running. So, all right, let's get started. It's showing here that I do have microphone sound going in. Okay, so I'm just hoping that's the case. Okay, I'm going to just put a comment in the side box. All right, so we've got that running. Okay, so sorry for that. There was just a last minute panic of things didn't quite line up as they were supposed to line up. So if you are online and you're hearing me at the moment, would you please just put into the comment box if you can hear me? I just want to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the microphone. So I'm going to cross my fingers on that one. Okay, so let's get started, because today what we're going to talk about is awareness and how are you being aware of how you feel and how things are feeling. And we want to just explore a little bit of that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to step back here, give myself a little bit of space. And again, if you are online and you are hearing me okay, would you please just put some comments in there so that I know that I'm being heard. Okay, first of all, find your feet. Find your feet, go down into the feet. All right, and can hear me fine. Hello, Mama Bear. I'm so glad you're on. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You're down into your feet, and I want you to just roll forward and pick your heels up, and roll back and pick your toes up. So you're rolling forward, feel down into your feet, backwards, toes come up. Okay, so just giving that little roll back and forth. Okay, and while you're rolling back and forth, I see another comment in the comment box. And that would be Anne. Perfect, you can hear me too. That's great, Anne. I'm so glad you're there. Okay, so missing all my people. Okay, perfect. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your feet and just scrunch them up like this. So you're going to go curl them, and you're going to end up creating a little bit of a cone shape with your foot. Oops. Okay, so your toes are going down, curl in. Put them down, splay them out, curl them in. Splay them out, curl them in, splay them out, curl them in. Right. Okay, so now that we've got that, beautiful. I'm seeing all these chats coming in. Hey, Sippy, awesome. Great. I am so happy to have all of you here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to roll one side, and then we're going to roll back the other side. And you notice I'm going from an outside and an inside to an inside and an outside. And you're going to roll back and forth. And just feel what that feels like on your feet, how it's coordinating. Okay. So we've got that little piece in there. Now we're going to go around in a circle. So feel your toes, feel the outside of the foot, feel your heel. Just really connect in with your foot. And the reason I'm doing this today is because one of the things that people have been saying kind of in conversations over the last little while is, you know, oh, this is tight, oh, that is tight. So their focus is always on what hurts. It's like we wait for the what hurts part to assess how well we are, which is really backwards. So I want you to notice how you feel in wellness. what feels really good for you. So as we're doing this walk around the foot, just being aware of the foot. How is it sending you information and feedback? And most of the time when we do this, there wouldn't be any aches and pains. So this is really about what does it feel like. So now what I want you to do is, go a little bit wider. You're not going to knock your knees in. You're just going to roll to the inside of your foot, and then you're going to roll to the outside of your foot. And just in this, as you roll to the inside, notice what happens to your pelvis. Notice how in the back it kind of opens. And then when you roll to the outside, notice how the hips change and they almost rotate in. So you have this sink, and then you have this expansion. Okay, now if you think about how you walk on your feet, if you walk in a position that maybe falls in on one foot, think about, let's say the right foot has a fall in, but the other foot's flat. You can see how the pelvis could then have a slight twist on it. And so being really aware now, if you go back to your feet, to those 9 points of the feet. How do they feel now that we've kind of engaged all the bottom parts of the feet? Can you notice that? And that's where you're noticing wellness. You're noticing, I can feel the 9 points of my feet. I feel the weight down into the bubbling spring. So that's that center part of the top of the foot. And if you imagine my hand as being my foot, the ball of the foot is here. The bubbling springs is here on the foot. So when it's down, it's the gauge of how this is working. And when you're standing with your feet here, you're in your bubbling springs, you're actually on the spring. You're on that catalyst of buoyancy. And that's what you're looking for. That's the wellness piece. Okay, so we have that little bit there. So now let's go to our awareness of when we do something like a toyu. And I'm not going to do a toyu, but I'm going to turn this a little bit so you can see me. Okay, so I'm going to turn one foot 45, and then I'm going to place my other foot straight forward so my heels are in line, into a straight line. And what I want you to do is, I'm not going to worry about arms, but I just want you to fall down into your foot and notice your foot, and then push out of that foot and notice, did you push with all 9 points of the foot coming back? And as you sink into the back leg, can you feel those 9 points? And now push into those 9 points to come back. So you've got the 9 points heading over, and you have the 9 points coming back. Okay, now in order for me to feel 9 points, second, third, and fourth toe aren't really connected to the floor. And so it's almost like I have to scrunch my toes to get there. But the more that I'm doing this, the more awareness is coming into my foot. And I'm starting to wake up more in the toe so it's fully engaged. So just pushing back and forth. Now in that process, I'm starting to feel that come on board. I'm also feeling the power that is coming through my foot. And I can feel that push from one foot to the other foot and the power sending me back again. That also is what we're looking for with wellness and awareness. Where is the power that you're using to move as you go across the floor? Okay, so let's change feet. So if you turn the other foot 45 degrees, sink onto that leg, place the foot in line with the heels in line with each other, straight forward, and then we're going to push into the foot. Now it might be a little bit different on this side because a lead foot sometimes will change things too. So you're just feeling each toe as you come into it. Notice what they're feeling like. See if you've got all the pads now functioning in there. The weight's kind of equal, outside to inside, pushing through. Okay, now we haven't even really started into Tai Chi yet, but we have started into awareness. And Tai Chi is a way for us to bring in awareness and use patterns that we're comfortable with, once we've learned them, to be able to know what feels good. Know what feels good. Okay, so there's that push back and forth. That time I felt my heel in the back was doing most of the pushing and my whole foot was not connected. And that was just like a momentary whoops and then push. Okay, so now we have that awareness. You may be noticing your hips, you may be noticing lower back here. You might be noticing your calf muscles. Sometimes they tighten up for people. And that is awareness that you have too much tension in the system. You need to let that tension disappear. You can have power, but not power with tension. That's wound up. That's the fight or flight. I'm in survival mode. You don't want that. You want to be just really relaxed because your movement is going to be power with no effort. Okay, so now if you go for a walk, see if you can feel the power in your foot. As you take the step, feel how the foot pushes off the floor and sends you forward. And that's where you're getting your power and your energy for all that you want to do. No effort, it's just the connection. Okay? So now let's go to the commencement at the opening of our sets. And we've done, last week we did the low cut version, and we have also done the Tai Chi version. So I've got my feet planted down into my feet, okay? And the hands, I'm going to push down into my feet and let my hands float. And this is where we're looking for no effort. This is where the power is coming through the body. And I want you to imagine, if you think about a water display, and when they have the water that comes out of the fountain, and it comes out of the piece and shoots straight up, that action is what's coming up the body, out the top of the head. And you don't have to do anything because it's coming from the ground. So you push up and then sink. And that would be the bottom of that water display. So you can see the tower, the fountain go up, and then you know how the water falls and cascades back down? That's you. Push, and then let that go. Okay, so now you bring that back to awareness. Notice where it feels good. Notice the power that's in that foot. Notice the lightness of the arms. Notice the movement that comes through the pelvis, the shoulders, the spine. Sink. And just what that feels like for you when it's all flowing. Because that's what you're looking for when you go about your day. You're looking for that lightness of movement, the minimal amount of effort in order to do that movement. Okay, so now let's take that same movement, but we talked about last week, palms down, palms up, how that changes the alignment of the hip. So we're going to turn the palms over, and what I want you to do is just sink down into those feet and push up. Notice the back, how it changes with this movement, sink. Because of the way the palm is, there's a different kind of movement that comes through the body, sink. And your breath is matching. And the beautiful thing about Tai Chi is slows down the breath, slows down the heart. And when the heart beats now, it's a beautiful picture of the heart and the layers, 8 layers of muscle, I think it's 7 or 8 layers of muscle that make up the heart chamber. And the spiral action of those muscles create the flow of blood. And it sets up a frequency and it sets up a rate. And just as we start to slow down everything, that is able to function easily. So it's no longer effort, just nice and easy through the heart, through the lungs, and into the organ systems. Okay, so we have all of that in there. All right, so now if you draw awareness, you may notice the fingertips have started to buzz a little bit. That's also a sign where you've energized, or you have energy, and you've been able to create the energy that you need. Instead of it's just really quiet and you don't hear anything from your body. Hearing as in awareness. Okay. So now, after we've got that little piece done, let's go to the Tai Chi moves, the 17. And I came into the studio today because I thought that would give me a little bit more space than running into the dining room. But also, just I'm going to be able to turn around and do it from backside, because I know some people really would like to be able to follow. So I'm going to give you a little bit of that. So I'm just going to turn around a little bit, and I hope it helps. Okay, so if we do the 17 moves, I'm going to start with a bow. So as I do that, the awareness is into the feet. The hands come forward. And as you grab onto that thumb, just notice how the back lets go and relaxes for you to be able to go forward. When you push into the feet, you're going to feel that energy come up the legs, up through the core of the body, up out the top of the head, and then let that go. So now you have weight into the left, so you can turn your right, and your right hand is going to lead out as your left heel lets go. Hold the ball. Power is in that right leg, and you're going to push from the right leg into the left. Hold that weight in the left, step with your right foot, and this is going to go fingertips into the wrist, bow and arrow back. Feel that push in your feet. Notice what it feels like in your feet to feel the awareness all the way through. Pushing back from the right into the left. We turn, hands come past lower dantian, you spiral that left foot, step with the left, and this is going to reach out. We're going to sink back into the right, turn the left toe, heel goes out, and your hands are going to come through with the right hand higher. Feel that weight in the left foot. Okay, so this is going to come across, weight goes down into the right, push off that one. That's going to go straight up out the top of the head. That's going to turn in it. Step with the left foot. Brush knee. Half a step. Open the hands. Left heel is going to go up. Sink down into that foot. Open the hands and brush knee left. Twist step. Step with your right foot. Brush knee right. Twist step. Step with the left, brush knee left. Half a step, open the hands, left heel goes out, sink. Feel that weight down in your right foot. Even it out across the whole foot. Brush knee left. Twist step. Hold the flowers up to your left. Step patois. In, out. Sink down into that right foot. Notice the weight. You stay there for 1 second. I'm just going to back up. Step with the left foot. Punch. Push from the back to the front. And push back. Turn your heel, or turn your toe. Turn your heel. Sink. Feel that weight in your foot. Open. And then let it go. Okay, don't know if that's any better for you than when you're in the dining room. You can see my face a little bit easier, but hopefully you got to see the actions. So now we've found the weight into the feet. We've found the calmness. We've found what it feels like on the feet to be engaged from one side to the other. And I hope that awareness is something now you can carry with you going forward into other things, where you can go, yeah, I'm not really feeling my feet. I'm not connected to the floor. Maybe I need to take my shoes off. Maybe I need to change into slippers. How can I find the bottom of my feet? And again, you can go back to these actions, but you can also go back to your Toyu action. So we did this 17, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it into the Toyu. We don't spend a lot of time usually. This is something that we like to watch in class to get techniques correct and things to watch out for. I'm just going to turn them out a different way. But because we can't see each other, we're just going to go with making sure you are aware of where you are in space and what's happening for you. So I'm going to do it on a couple different angles. So you've got 1 foot 45, so I'm going to use my left foot. I'm going to step with my right foot, straight forward, so my heels are in line with each other, and my foot is only going as wide as the weight I can handle on this leg. So I'm stepping only that far, and I'm not transferring my weight until I decide to push. Okay, now the hands. 2 hands are going to go forward. And we worked on this last week, where the heel of the hand goes out, and right before you get to the end, tailbone is already coming back, and the hands change position and go flat to sink. So we're going to open the hands, push through the foot, feel the foot, and come back. It's a very small action, and it's very subtle through the pelvis. So now let's look for some wellness and awareness within the pelvis. So we're shifting back and forth between the feet. You know what that feels like. What does your hip feel like? So when you sink back into the left, can you let it relax? And when you shift into the right, can you feel the weight go down the leg and into the foot? Feel that fall into the foot. Sink back. Okay, now if you think about the arms, are they relaxed? Can you feel the power that comes up the body and then out the shoulders, out through the arms? And I say shoulders and I'm meaning shoulder blade. Can you feel that coming out the shoulder blade? And it's like this dance from the feet to the tips of your fingers, back and forth. Very, very gentle. The head at the top, if you think about that fountain going up, you want the fountain to go up the top of the head. The fountain turns just a little bit because it's a bit on an angle. And your head is extended with it, up and out. Just as I've said that, I can even find the space getting a little bit bigger in mine. Up and out. Push into the foot. Okay, beautiful. All right, so now, if you're noticing you have a tight hip, tight back, calf muscles, lower leg, then you know you're carrying tension for something that should be relaxed. So that awareness is not I am too tense, where in the body am I relaxed? So you want to shift your focus. So if your focus is on tension, you'll get more of it. But if your focus is on where am I relaxed, that's what you're looking for. Maybe it was your hands. Sorry, so you can see. Maybe it was your hands guiding back and forth. Very gentle. Maybe that's where the relaxation is. And you've got it in the upper body, but not in the lower part of the body. If that's the case, then you know you've got things more relaxed on the top. You need to figure out then, how can I make the bottom feel the same as the top? That's what you're looking for. So I'm going to change. So I just finished my left foot, turned out 45, now I'm going to turn my right foot out 45. I'm going to place, and I just changed my position because I'm hoping this will help you a little bit with where you are in the angles. Okay, very gentle, and out. Push into that left foot. When you push into the left foot, it actually sends your tailbone back. As it sends the tailbone back, it's opening up your pelvis and your spine and your neck. And if you can let your hands relax at the end where the fingertips can extend, that is the same as your neck. So out, relax, sink. Feel all the points on the bottom of your foot. Connect it with the floor. Feel the power of the floor. And it's helping you move easily and joyfully. Back and forth. Nice and gentle. hopefully everything in your body is relaxed. I have to say, in the middle, right in the middle, of Dantian. I'm definitely noticing my lower back a little bit. Sometimes that's just being in teacher mode and talking. Sometimes just talking will do that. So I have to then pay attention to how do I let that completely relax. Okay, so the arms, we had a cross, open and out. Oops. And the fingers, doing that little piece out. Let it relax. This is beautiful if you want to do this in the chair. And it's really delightful for massaging the inner organs when it's nice and gentle and flowing. And you may notice that in your own body as you're doing that. Okay, so now go back to your feet. Standing on your feet and feel them. Are you aware now of the power that's coming out of those feet and how it's completely supporting you? And is that allowing you to let go of this lower back? Okay, so that gives us a little bit of awareness that way. Now, last week we did a little bit of seated low cup, and I was rising up and down with my feet. And I thought we could explore that a little bit. So I'll do it seated and then I'll do it standing. So I'm going to put my chair here and turn this. Hopefully that's going to be okay for you. All right. So I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, so you can see behind me. I do not have my back resting. I'm actually sitting up, nice and tall. Now, if you think about that fountain, it's coming through the feet, connects with the sit bones, goes up the spine, right out the top of the head, and it can feel, you just feel the whole lift happen. And the lift is when everything lines up and is straight, there's no effort there. You just are. So this is what you're aiming for, and again, that's awareness of this is where the energy flows for me. This is where everything is supported. My whole structure is supported by the way I'm sitting on the chair. If I relax back into the chair and lean onto my tailbone, I am going to shut the energy pump off, and there's definitely nothing coming up to the head, definitely nothing coming up through the neck. So we have changed the way that we can be aware of the body. Okay, so the action that we worked on last time was when the hands came up. So it goes up and raise the heels up off the floor, sink back. Then it would go up and lean into your feet with the heels up, sink back, and now this would be a two-handed push. This comes around, so you are holding the flowers down low, and then you're going to reach those flowers out, up, and right here you're going to open, palms go up to the ceiling, and the elbows out to the side, and you're lifting your head up to the ceiling, and then this comes down, and you're pushing into your right foot, and it creates this beautiful little spiral, and allows you to come back. And your right hand is coming back flat to your hip. Okay, so now I know you can't see my hands very well, so I got out my Santa Claus gloves, so hoping you can see a little bit better this way. All right, this will help. All right, so let's try it again. So the palms are going to go up. So you're going to, oops, sorry, I'm going to bring my feet closer. Okay, rise up with the heels, sink back. Take it up and out, fall right into the feet. Sink back. Two-hand push. This is going to go out, and you'll notice my hands, the fingertips are going to come back, just like we were talking about. Roll the hands over, and then extend. I'm just going to bring my hand down so you can see. I have my right hand going into my left wrist, as if, Doug would say, as if holding a baby, there, okay? And we've often referred to it as holding the flowers, but it would be the same. Here's the head of the baby, here's the bum, and you would have it here. Okay, so you have come around, you've got that position, fall into the feet, the arms are going to extend gently out, turn the fingers up to face the ceiling, so the palm is to the ceiling, and then push down. So you're falling into the feet, push into your right foot, gives you that little bit of spiral to the left, and push into your left, and it spirals you back, and push out. Okay, so I'm going to turn just a little bit, see if I can make this easier to see. And I'm hoping that if you discover any cramp in your foot, by raising your heels up, the cramp has disappeared. And I had a couple of dance parents the other night who said, oh yeah, if I do any action like that, immediately my foot cramps. And the meaning of that is you have energy blocked in there, so it locks up. And it just, there's too much energy, so you want to let it go. And just this little action will change that. Okay, so let's try it again. So the palms are up, lifting the heels up off the floor, sink back. Walk through the feet would be the action, sink. And this is going to come out. Fingertips are going to go out, hands are going to roll over, fall into the feet. Left hand is out a little bit further, palms turn up towards the ceiling, push down into the feet, push into your right, push into your left, push into your right, and that comes through. Okay, so let's do it again. So I know it's just starting to flow. So you have the first little up and down. So in the low cup set, we wouldn't actually rise on the toes here, but I'm putting it in here because it gives us one extra bit, just for practice. So we have lift, sink. Notice the tailbone. Notice how the fluidity is in there. The power that you can feel. Fall into the feet. Push. Turn the hands over. Fall into the feet. Push. This is going to come up and over, turning the palms. Okay, now that's your sit bone that's actually going to push you back. Push into the right foot. Push into the left foot. Push into the right foot. And reach. It's just got a beautiful little glide on it. Okay, so let's spend a little bit of time with the low cup set. I'm not sure if I'm facing the right direction for you. I'm thinking it might not be so great from a right hand, left hand perspective. So I'm just going to come around. Okay, hopefully this will help. So when I turn this way, I'm turning to my right. When I turn this way, I'm turning to my left. I'm hoping that's going to help you. Okay, so the beginning of low cup starts with the palms up. So you've got that lift up through the top of the head, sink. You can feel the sit bone towards the tailbone. Fingertips turn in, and you're going to go up nice and tall. You've got a spiral to the right. Push into your left foot. This is going to come around, Hand is going to turn, comes up. So now lifting up through the top of the body. Turn the palms out. Right hand is reaching, sink. So you feel that between the sit bone and the tailbone. Let that sink back. Right hand is going to go up to the top. And as it turns, the left hand is going to wipe the sleeve. This is going to go to the brow. Wipe the sleeve. This is going to go to the knee. Right now what your awareness is, hold the ball, is that spiraling action through the back. Like a washing machine, washing all the organs, brushing. So now we're going to go past, open the hands, expand. It's going right out the top of the head, sink. Now this is going to go again, up and out the top of the head, open, sink. Palms go together, push out. This would turn around and roll back. This would be up. I'm just going to put in that rise, sink. Now I'm going to walk through my feet, out, crack, 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 sink. 2 hands go forward, push. Pushing back from the feet, the hands turn, reach out with that horizontal flower, up to the top, over and open the palms, sink. Push into the right, push into the left, and then let the hand glide out. All right, that's about as far as we've been practicing this last little bit. I've tried to really focus on quality of movement rather than trying to get a whole set in. For those of you that know the set, you're very capable of practicing on your own and running a set. And you can also watch all the videos that have the whole set in it if you want that. I'm looking for quality. So I am hoping you noticed the shift from the sit bone to the tailbone, and just in the center there is this awareness of the pocket where it's really fluid. That's what we're looking for in wellness. If you go back and it's completely locked, you need to find that place where it's just going to be like you could just move anywhere. So when you think about what it felt like to be on your feet and rolling around, that's what it should feel like for you to be on the sit bones and moving around on the chair. Give you that same kind of fluid action. All right, so let's try it one more time. So we have palm goes up, out the top of the head. Feel the length. You're on your sit bone, sink, comes back. Now, this has a lift in it again, out the top of the head, with the spine rotation, very gentle to your left. And the palms are out. You're going to let that palm engage all the way around. Then you're going to sink down and then feel that lift come up, out through the top of the head with a full spine rotation. Sink. That's going to come back, sink. Then there's the lift. Here goes. Those sit bones are very busy. Wipe the right sleeve with your left hand. There's that rotation in the spine. There's a push out, wipe, and then this is going to come down, sink. Hold the ball. Goes to the brow. To this beautiful massage back and forth through the spine. Now, wipe those palms, expand the hands, move up through the top of the head, sink. Lift up through the top of the head again. So we've massaged back and forth in the spiral, and we go back to up and down, lift. And now this is an expansion, and you can feel it go right through your spine. Hands would have turned, sink back. Palm up, sink. Walk through those feet, crack, crack. It's amazing how much moves. 2-hand push. Push into the feet. The fingers roll. Push out. Down and up. Over the top and roll it. And this is going to come down. Push into your right foot. Spirals you. Left spirals you back. Spiral with your right foot. Right. Okay, so now let's go back to our feet. Let's go back to standing on our feet and just notice the awareness of those feet. Okay, and while you're doing that, I don't know if you could see into the window, I have a little cat that wants to make her appearance. Her name is Sissy. She always knows when I'm filming. Hey, you're looking a little wet. You're a little bit wet. Hi. Hey, you say hello to everybody in the camera. Hey, they're all looking at you. All right. Yeah. Look, Miss Wet One. You come and say, hey, say to Grandma and Grandpa, you say, hello. That's one not very happy cat. Okay. Anyway, Missy says hi. Okay, so now while you were watching all that, of course, you were aware of your feet. And I'm hoping you can really feel now your connection to the ground. When we have that grounding connection, we have a whole bunch of systems in the body that engage. When we don't have that grounding connection, they turn back a little bit because they're not as important as some other features will be. So now what I want you to do is just take a walk again. And while you're on that walk, notice what it feels like to move. Notice what it feels like through your leg as it's swinging. And I say swinging because it should swing straight forward when you walk. And you should feel the power in your foot. That the steps you're taking aren't here, which isn't walking through your foot, but placing it down. And it's not going side to side, which is not using balance. That's using momentum in a pendulum. That's not so good. But your walk forward is straight forward, even on both sides. And you really can feel your connection to the floor. That is where you put your awareness for wellness. And that is going to be able to extend into all that you do. You're standing at the kitchen counter. Are you locked up while you're reaching into the sink? Or are you flowing with energy and aware? Your feet are connected. Your fluid in your legs, your hips are relaxed. Those pieces you can think about, yeah, I am energizing my body while I'm washing those dishes or stirring a pot on the stove. Or maybe you are doing something in the house at the table. And are you using your feet? Are you connecting as you're going about the movements? Is it building energy while you're participating? The Toyu always builds energy. It's a beautiful way to do that. So let's finish off with the Tai Chi 17. And this time your job is not to be watching me so much as you are thinking, you're going to be hearing my voice, but you're going to be thinking about the movements and how they are energizing you. Each movement, what it feels like to be engaged and aware. Okay, so what I'm going to do is slide this down, so hopefully it helps you to see a little bit better. And instead of going with my back to you this time, I'm going to go a little bit to the side. That might give you another way of looking at things. Okay, so let's go back to, we didn't really bow out, so let's just do commencement. So here's pushing into the feet. This is the Tai Chi set. So this is where we really learn about our positions on our feet. Into the left, turn to the right. Hold the ball, left grasp bird's tail. Feel that weight, and then grasp bird's tail. Fingertip to the wrist, bow and arrow back, palm towards palm, open the hands. Two hands go out, sinking back. It's going to come around, whip to the right, sink. Place the foot and reach out. So now we have into the right, into the left. You can feel those feet. The heel is out, but the weight is on your left. And you can feel that transfer through. Find the power in your foot. Push out of that foot. Feel the expansion right up the top of the head. Sink. Feel the weight of your foot. Push into the foot. Half a step, left heel goes out, sink, strum the paper, open the hands, brush knee left. Twist step, brush knee right, twist step, brush knee left, half a step, heel goes out, sink. Open the hands, brush knee left. Twist step. the flower. Take that up, step patois, in, out, wipe, step through, past a cat, wipe the sleeve, 2 hands go out. Push into the right foot, turn the left toe, push into the left foot, turn the right heel, sink. Crossing the hands over, you're going to the left, and then straighten back out and let the hands come down. I'm just going to turn so I can look to you. So with the hands down, find the weight. Feel what it feels like. Back. Gauge that back. See if it's open. Okay. Might not be. It's going to come down with your bow. Notice how you can let that spine go. Find your feet. Find the power. Come up through the legs, up through the body, up through the top of the head, and then let it go and hold that open position when you finish. Okay. Awesome. So I hope that gives you some ideas of ways to play and to think about how wellness is in your life and how you notice all the places of wellness. We have a lot of things going on in our lives which cause us stress, but if we focus on that, that's where we'll be. So if we focus over to wellness and awareness of where that energy is sitting for us, where the power is for us, and how we move with no effort, which is all Tai Chi, that takes us to the place where we can really build energy and make it matter. So make sure that you are putting Tai Chi in your day, because the more Tai Chi you're doing, the more you boost that immune system and support all of the systems to flow with proper energy flow, but also in the order it needs to flow in. It's very important. And for a good night's rest, Tai Chi is fantastic to do before you go to bed. So I hope that helped. Thank you so much for any comments in the comment box. I am so glad to see you. I know that the Wine Country Tai Chi Society is in lockdown here for 2 weeks, and I'm glad that you can come to the videos. I hope that you will take advantage of being here and being able to participate. So Yvonne has white gloves help. Good, I thought they might. And I know the lighting still isn't great. That's me not being able to get out to get lights. And Missy's always here. She knows when the camera's going on. She's always checking it out. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. I wish you the very best. Have a wonderful weekend and make it an energy building weekend. If you're doing your decorating this weekend, do it with love and joy. Have a little eggnog, put some music on, and make it an experience that fills you up with love and excitement. Take care.